young artists, welcome back to another episode of Art for Kids Sunday, where today we're going to be drawing one of the characters from Paw Patrol, and that is Chase. So without further ado, let's get started. So as usual, I have my Kurotoga mechanical pencil for my sketching. I have a Mount Fuji eraser in case we make any mistakes or we need to clean up any lines that we don't want. For the colors I'm using today, of course, we got our black for our outline. We have this coffee mocha color that I usually use for a beige color. We have a yellow. We have a regular brown. We have a gray. And we have a blue. So let's set those to the side. And let's get started. Okay, for step one, what we're going to do is we're going to get the outline of his face in. And I'm only going to do a head and kind of upper body portion only. I'm not going to do his full body. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of map out how wide we want his face to be. So I'm probably going to do it about maybe like that, about that much. So I'm going to put me a mark here and a mark over here about where I want it to come out at. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start about in the middle of the paper, maybe the upper little bit above the middle line of your paper here. And we're going to make a very small curved line. About like that. And then what we want to do is do another one right over here. Basically the same way. So just imagine that you were doing a circle and then you're just taking a little piece of it off over there. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do his cheeks. So they're going to come about here and here. And then they're going to make a loop. Kind of like that. And then we're just going to go down to a rounded point. So I'm going to bring this down and the point would be probably around there. So I'm going to round this kind of up like that. Okay. I think that's good. That's the way he is. We could probably come out a little bit and make it more rounded. That's fine. Let me clean this up right here and see how that looks. I don't want to have a really big chin, but I think that's good. So about like that. So that is going to be step one. So we got the shape of the head in. So now what we're going to do next is we're going to put in his ears. So the ears are going to start a little bit below the line that we made, so about right there. And we're just going to kind of curve up, and it's going to end up into a point. That's going to be the tip of his ear right there. And then we're going to bring it down. I don't know yet, so I'm just going to come to about right there. If we need to take some of it off, we can. And then the inside's going to have another shape following along the same one we just did, kind of like what we just did. So about something like that. So you can work on that until you get it to however you like it. And then we're going to do another one over here on this side. Go up. Let me see, we got it about right there. So I want to try to make them even. And then I'm going to come down to about right there, I guess. So again, we have to measure out where our hat's going to be before we can go ahead and complete that. So another one on the inside here, like we did on the other side. Just going to follow along that shape. And we're going to bring it down just about like that. So that's his two ears, and that is step 2 done. All right, so what we're going to do for step 3 is we're going to start putting his hat in. So what we're going to do maybe is probably from the inside portion of this ear. So this one and this one. And we're going to connect those two with a curve. And the curve is going to come up to about, so a little bit below the tips of his ears. So not all the way up. So what we want to do is we want to come up from here, kind of follow that part, and then come down and meet it right there. So let's do that next. Alright, I'm going to turn my sketchbook. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. So that's the top portion of his hat. Now, this portion is going to come down just a straight line. And it's going to end up about right here. So we're just going to come down to about right there. And then on this side too, same thing. We're going to come down to about there. Alright, and then we're going to do another curve following along kind of the same way like we did right there. We're just going to connect it over there. Maybe I didn't come down far enough. Or maybe I just didn't curve it up enough. Let me take off this bottom portion here. Let me do that one again. I think I erased both of them by mistake. So about like that, and then we're going to do a very thin one right below that and just follow along with it just like that. So I kind of closed it off there in the middle a little bit. Don't want to do that. I want to try to stay there we go, that's better. Kind of want to stay the same width going across. Alright, and now the bill portion of his hat is going to come from here. It's going to go out and meet the bottom of the ear on that side. So let's do a line from here to here. And this one looks like it came down a little bit farther, so we're just going to put it in. Maybe coming down a little bit lower than the other one, that's okay. And then we're going to come out. Oops, I broke my lid. Let's get some more. We're going to come out about here. And we're going to come out on this side about here. And now we're just going to connect those two. Just about like that. So there's his hat. Looking good. So that was step 3. Let's go ahead and start on step 4. What we're going to do is we're going to put in his nose and his mouth now. So let's do, let's do his nose first because we want to situate that right in the center of his face. And it's going to be a upside down rounded triangle. So let me see, I want it to be about here and right in the center. So I'm just going to kind of round it like this, and then we're going to come down and come down on this side and round it off right there. So there's his nose. Alright, the next thing we want to do is we want a curved line going over the top of his nose. So maybe about like that. I'm going to sketch that in about like that. Clean up some of this. Okay. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a line straight down. So just a straight line down from the middle of his nose. And then we're going to create a mouth. So the mouth is going to be curved and it's going to be touching this line right here. So we're going to go up to about right here. And then up to about right over here. And then we're just going to kind of Do like that. So a little curved mouth, curving down and then back up. All right, what else do we need on this side? We got little freckle-like things over here. So we'll just put one there, and one there. And then over here, we'll do 3 also. So just about like that. All right, so that's step 4 done. Let's go into step 5. And what we're going to be doing is kind of creating this part that's going to be one color from another color. So we're going to use this cheek part right here. And we're going to go up. And we're going to make a jagged. And then another jagged. And then we're going to connect to his hat about right there. Okay, so let's start with this cheek right here. And we're going to go up, following the curve of the outside of his head here. We're going to make a jagged, another jaggy, and then we're going to connect right there. So just kind of like hair, I guess, in a way. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to connect to about right there. We're going to come off from here. We're going to go up, make a jagged, another one, and then we're going to connect right there. Okay, and that is going to be the outside of his hair. Now we need to do the same thing, but on the inside here. And we're going to connect, let me see, I want it kind of curved. We're not going to be, the middle of the nose is here. So we want to go on both sides of the middle about right there and right there. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come up and we're going to connect it about there and about there. So it's going to curve a little bit. And we're going to do 3 jaggeds on this side. We did 2 on that side. We're going to do 3 on this side. So we're going to go up, jaggy, 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 and then connect. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to go up, jaggy, jaggy, and another jaggy right there. And that is going to do it for that part. So that is step 5. So I guess what else we can do in step 5 is give his eyebrows in there. So we're seeing little curved lines up here at the top. So about like that. And about like that. That's good enough. All right, so that's step 5 done. Let's move on to step 6. And step 6 is going to be his eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an oval for his eye, and then the bottom portion of his eye is going to be a line. Okay, so let's maybe go ahead and put the line in first. So I'm going to touch it with this line that's going over the bridge of his nose, and we're going to come out to about right maybe there. So let's go like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do an oval. That's going to come up to about right there. Okay, so I'm going to go here, oval, and then we're going to come down and we're going to connect almost where that other portion was. So about like that. That is his eye. Okay, so let's try to do another one on this side. And let's try to make it the same size as we did. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out right here to about there. And then the top of his eye is going to come, try to do even with that one. So around here. All right. And then we're going to curve this one, connect that up there. And then we're going to curve it back right there. All right. Do they look even? I don't think that they do. I think the one on the left is a little bit bigger than the one on the right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the one on the left a little bit smaller. So we're going to cut this back to about maybe there. And let me erase this outside part and let's see if that matches better. Yep, that's much better. So that's going to be his eyes. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do an eyeball in the middle, and it's just going to be a circle.
So maybe about like that. And then we're going to do another one over here, same way. All right, so 2 eyeballs, and then we're going to have the pupil here in the middle, which is also going to be another circle. Just like that, and there is his eyes completed. That is step 6. Let's move on to step 7, and we're going to put some little hands down here, or little paws, since this is Paw Patrol. And what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is make a U. And we're going to try to make them maybe from here to here on one. And then this one over here, we're going to go from here to here on that one. So that they look pretty even. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a U here right in the center. So let's just do a U shape just like that. And let's do another U shape just like that. So that's going to be his middle paw finger. I guess they call them fingers, huh? Toe, maybe toe. And then this one's going to come and it's going to connect right there. And then this one over here is going to connect right there. And then the top is just going to come around just about like that. Okay, and we're going to try to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to do one here, one over here, and then we're going to connect these two at the top right there. Okay, maybe we can make this one a little bit bigger. Have it come out a little more. Yeah, that's better. Okay, there's his paw. So that's step 7. Let's move into step 8. And now we're going to start working on his body here. So we're going to have a little medal that he's wearing. So let me see, what could we do first? Maybe let's come up from his hand. So kind of a curved shape. And then we're going to connect it back to his side over there. And we're going to try to do the same thing on this side. So we're going to come up and then connect to his side right there. All right, and then he's going to have a little strip that's going to connect the 2 shirts in here. So it's not going to touch his jaw. I'm going to turn my sketching pad to the side a little bit so I can show you what I'm talking about. We're just going to make a curved line like right under his chin right there. Not touching it. And we're just going to connect those 2 shirts, 2 parts of the shirt over there. And then we're going to have a collar. So right in the center, you got this little line right here where his nose is, so you can use that as a center point. And we're just going to make a square on both sides of that center point. So about like that. And then we're just going to do a curved line all the way up and connect about right there. So one right there, and we'll do one over there. Okay, very good. Now we're going to put that metal in I was talking about. So it's going to come down from the outside of that, each side of that middle part we got there. And then it's going to curve out on both sides to about right there. So like that, and like that. And then it's just going to come down to the center right there. So like this and like that. That's going to be his little medal right there. Or his dog collar or something like that. Okay, and then we're going to connect the bottom of the shirt here. So it's going to come out from his hand or his paw. And then it's going to connect to the metal right there on that side. And then continue over there. All right, that's step 8 done. Let's do step 9. And this is going to be little kind of small details right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the shape of this metal one more time, but on the inside. So we're going to make the top of it straight, like a straight line. And then we're going to come down and over like that, just like we did on the metal. Just like that. And then we're going to have it come down and meet in the middle right there. So just like that. And then we're going to have a star. So are you guys good at doing stars? I'm not. We'll do a star and then we'll put a little circle right in the middle of it. So that's going to be his metal. And now we need to do one more metal on the top of his hat. And that's going to look basically just like the same shape we did just then. So I'm going to turn my tablet over a left to a little bit. And then what we're going to do is, so mark the center line right here. That's about the center. And then we're going to do a straight line that's kind of curved, I guess. Like that. And then we're going to go out like we did on the one below. And then it's going to come down to a point about right there. So just like that. And then we're going to do another one on the inside. So just follow along the same shape. Just like that. And then we're going to put a paw in the middle for Paw Patrol. So let's do an oval right in the center. Well, that's one toe. Another toe there. Another toe there. And then we're going to have like an upside down heart. Just like that. And that completes our sketch. So let's move next into the coloring process. So the biggest portion is probably going to be the blue. Probably going to be actually the blue and the beige color. But let's start on the blue first. So what we're going to do is we're going to color his cap. This part here and this part here. So not that little part right there and not the badge. Actually the inside of the badge. Not the toe prints. And not the outside of the shield here. That's going to be blue also. And then his shirt, this part, his collar part, and the inside of the badge. Okay, so let's do those. This is the section where I will speed the video up. You guys can pause it if you'd like while you color yours in. And then let's pick back up after we get these done. Alright, we're back. We got that part done. It was tricky getting around those toes and that paw print. Okay, so what we're going to do next is the next biggest portion is probably going to be this coffee mocha or beige color. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the insides of the ears. Right there. We're going to do the inside of the face. So right there. Not his nose. And we're going to do the paws. And the little sliver portion right here under his chin. Alright, so again, we're going to pause this and we'll pick back up when we're finished. Okay, guys, we're back. Okay, so next let's do the brown portion, the regular old brown, and we're going to do the outsides of the ears here, the inside of his head, the outside of his head, the outside here, the ears up here, and that's it for the brown. Actually, the eyes, inside of the eyes, not that middle circle, that's going to be black, and the outside is going to be white, so just the inside of his eyes. Okay, so let's get those done. Alright, we got the brown done. I seen a place I missed right here, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in right there. Okay, so next what we're going to do, let's do the yellow stripe on that cap. So just this little thin spot right here is going to be yellow all the way across. Just like that. And the other yellow portion is going to be the star down here. Okay, that's good. Now let's do the gray next. So take your gray, and the gray is going to be the badge up here with the paw print, and then the center tie-like mark here, and then around the edge of the badge on the bottom. Okay, just like that. And now grab your black. It's time for the nose. Alright, there you are. And then the inside of the eyes. Okay, there we are. So we're all fully colored in. Let's get started on the outlining portion. So every place that you saw where a pencil line was, we're going to make that black now. You get the ear in there, and the ear in over here. Alright, I'm just going to come down with the head. Just like that. Alright, and then the face. I'm going to turn my tablet a little bit so I can get a better angle. You guys feel free to flip your tablets however you think is the most comfortable. I think for a lot of people, the pulling it towards them is a little bit more comfortable and easier to control. So we got the little jaggies right here. Got that done, and we're into the inside here. Okay. Right there, and the cap around to there, connect up. Let's see if we can do this without touching that yellow. This is tricky right here. Go up here, up here. Get the hat in there, and then try to do the top of that yellow line. The badge is going to be difficult. The inside of the ear there. Inside of the ear over there. Let's get that curved shape on top of his nose. And we can get his nose in. Okay, and the line. Mouth. Those little freckles. Okay, and let's do the eyes. go. Do this one over here. Good. Eyebrows. Here we go. And then we're going to outline the eye. Very good. Okay, let's do his shoulders here. And over here. I'm going to turn it so I can get this thin line right here in perfectly. There we go. And then maybe a paw. Get that U shape right there. And the one over on the left side. That U in right there, and then right there. Okay, this line right there, and over here. I think I'm going to leave that star not shaded in or not outlined, because that's going to be really tough to do unless I have a finer point. Might can get a marker to do that. I'm going to try it. That's okay. There we go, guys. We are finished. There is our final product, our Paw Patrol Chase. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. It was a little bit difficult, more difficult than we usually do, but hey, we gotta level up our drawing skills. So with that, I'm going to say thank you so much for joining me. Look for us next Sunday for another Art for Kids Sunday. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Hit the little bell icon. Share it with your friends. And with that, I will see you next week. Take care.